all over the world. Welcome. My name is Ray Pearson. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. Grab your drinks, grab your popcorn, get your notebooks. This is Quarantine and Rap.
Yeah, live from your mobile phone, TV or PC. I'm on whatever screen you own. Jumping from tabs to apps, I suggest you don't. I promise you'll miss out on information that is vital. What I do is feature guests, I'm even call them the best. So I'm going viral with idols, it's so classic. Like cassette CDs and vinyls. You already know it's time for my show. Right.
4, 3, 2. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to Quarantine and Rap. I go by the name of Ray Pearson.
I go by the name of Jomy Lowe's. What's up, everybody?
So, ladies and gentlemen, this is something that I've been wanting for a while now.
Let's go.
So I have this machine, right?
She's a goddess. She's a goddess. Thank you. Just don't
And at the height of everything, there was Grizzy Hendrix. But before you know it, there was this woman who was there for it all. All the tag a rapper in my city. I'm sorry if I do the Suge Knight. You tired of these industry artists asking y'all to tag rappers in this city? This woman, besides having her show, she's also an artist. She's also a producer. I am definitely looking forward to the discussion we're about to get into today. Ladies and gentlemen, Minx. Sorry, I had to throw a little DJ envy on that.
I'm not used to that.
So, Minx, before we could get in and get into anything, please introduce yourself to the people. Let them know where you're from.
My name is Minx Couture. I am from the Bronx, New York. I come from technically a tale of two cities because I've also lived in Yonkers. And yeah, that's me.
New York in the house.
BX is
from
in
Jersey,
the building.
So yeah, we're over here, down here somewhere.
But it's dope to have another Bronx bomber in the building.
Word.
So Minx, let's get into the artist / producer side of you. Who were some of your favorite artists and some of your producers growing up?
My dad, John B, definitely, Khalees, Aaliyah, and the Force MDs. Those were definitely my major influences growing up.
And I know you mentioned your father before while we were in the backstage area. Could you shed a little light on who your father is?
Yes, my father was in the Force MDs. He was on the second round of when they were replacing artists, and to see him, like his growth, I didn't know he was famous. I didn't even know what he did. I just was like, why do all these people are always here? why is it when we go to Dunkin' Donuts, people keep asking you to sing to them? Like I never understood that. I didn't realize he was like important like that until I would say I was in high school. People used to always say to me, you're so lucky. And I'm like, he's just my dad. Like he just like everybody else, he yells at me, tells me to stay away from the boys, shows up to school when I got suspended in a mink jacket. Yeah, he's normal.
And when did you finally realize like who your father was? Like when did it was like, oh snap?
I would say when he actually, because I come from a musical family. One of my cousins is a battle rapper by the name of John the Don. I have lots of cousins and siblings that also do music, and just to see him work when people like Kiss, X, That's why this tag artist shit bothers me. But just to see them come by the lab and late night sessions, we never spoke on late night sessions. That's like respectful to, that's a spot where someone can call him and say, hey, I'm going to be flying in from LA. Can we come by and record sessions, and seeing celebrities just coming in and out was when I was like, oh, this is real. Like this is really like going down. This is really happening. So that's when I realized, and it wasn't like a home studio. He had the full mixers that fit the whole room. The analog mixers, everything he did was analog. We always had camera crews, and I just was very surprised that it was on that level. I'm still finding out shit to this day.
Wow. The name you even just dropped, who being someone who's been influenced by battle rap, and like it shows in in some of the things that I write. A lot of the way I craft some of the bars is battle rap inspired, and the fact that you just dropped John the Don like that, that's crazy. Like when you said that, I was like, what? Your cousin's who?
Yeah,
But
with him, I learned how to rap because of the little ciphers that we used to have in my house. Like my mom used to be our cheerleader. We'd throw on my favorite beat, which was "The Blast" by Talib Kweli and High Tech, and he was teaching the cadence of being on point, punchlines, which I'm amazing in, and I salute him, 100%. He does his thing, I do mine, but just to see that he's on that level of like people actually like really respect him. I can't watch him in a battle rap though, because I'd be wanting to jump through the screen like, yo, I know you didn't just diss my cousin, man. Like, but I have to be the audience, so it's definitely hard to watch a battle rap with him in it.
word, that's fire. That's fire.
Yo, that is super dope. No, like, no, let me tell you, I used to sit around, I used to beatbox. I was telling him that I used to beatbox around, like, there was 12 guys in my block that used to always rap. And I used to beatbox all the time, and I never picked up like rapping, period. So I definitely commend you that, because listen, my ass cannot remember. No, listen, I commend you, seriously.
But I always say I'm not a rapper. I'm an artist. It depends on the song. It depends on the emotion that I pull from life, and some songs I may just sing on it or sing song on it, and other songs I may feel angry and just want to spit and let dudes know that they don't know who they're messing with. So it depends on the mood, the moment, and the beat that I construct for it.
What
Having
is,
oh,
no,
go ahead, Jomy. I'm sorry.
no, I just wanted to kind of like, what is your definition of an artist and a rapper? See, like for instance, people have this misconception that a rapper is like an artist, and I feel like an artist is more or less somebody that actually builds their music. So what is your definition of artist and rapper?
Well, I say the element of an artist is an artist that makes their listener see. You know, we're listening to something, but if I close my eyes, because again, I'm heading into manifestations. That's why I'm very careful about what I listen to. Um, I think about what it makes me feel or what I want them to feel. And I knew that artistry, like pure artistry, was important in this element of even hip hop because the artistry is missing. I feel like wordplay is great. Wordplay is everything, but can you pull a Kanye? Can you put together a music video movie? Can you be on GOAT status of people always being wowed, not just by lyrics, but based off of visual? And I always said that because I've come from a past of not really having friends, but creating my own little world in my head, I said my artistry was going to be all elements of art, meaning painting, meaning anything that I can do to make, like, if you ain't going to like the song, you're going to like the visual. If you don't like the visual, you're going to like the beat. If you don't like the beat and you don't like anything I named, then either you are deaf or you are just a hater. So that's what I've always felt like artistry is. Um, Being a rapper is art because it's an art in its own way. But I like to hear that the rapper was in the studio, was helping the producer arrange the elements of the song. Like I always say his name wrong. Jadena, is that how you say it?
I know who you're talking about.
Oh yeah, he's dope. He's super
Jadena?
dope.
Yes, yes. Even his latest vehicle, see, car business. Um, his latest song and visual that he released, it was so amazing. Like we don't get chills anymore when we listen to things or see things. And his song was about voodoo, and people in the comments, obviously, the super heavy religious folks. Oh, this is demonic. It's this. I'm like, but you don't understand the message that he's conveying here. Voodoo is within us, meaning we, as Black people, you know, we have been predisposed in our DNA to have magical um, elements. I'm not going to say powers, but Black power is exactly what that comes from. So when I see that he's using elements of that into his music, it's like I don't care about the beat. I don't care about what you're saying. Visually, you got me. So that's my idea of artistry to me.
That's dope. That's definitely dope. And I sentiment with you on that because
Right,
a lot of people they're like, somebody else wrote for me, somebody else produced for me. All I had to do was just come memorize lyrics, throw it, and it's just like I don't. Being a musician, you want to feel the music, and that's part of why I honestly stopped my music career. Is more or less because I'm more of a spiritual. Like I grew up in church, but then I understood the spirituality outside the church that we were never taught, like the missing chapters of the Bible, the understanding how some people are more spiritually connected than we know. You know what I mean? And so, like, when I would sing or go to the studio, they would like, why do you take so long, to sing this one verse? And it's like, because you have to feel it. It's about feeling the
right.
music. You know what I mean? So I definitely understand that. And thank you.
Well,
Ray.
music is also, not to cut you, but um, it's very spiritual. You're talking about words. Words are spells. And when you have artists that come out here and, they're talking about, oh, I got the sticky with the blicky, might get two in my head. Guess what? Now you got two in your head because you manifested that. And your whole fan base manifested that. And they kept saying it and repeating it and driving around and believing in it. And this is why I believe that a lot of rappers die young, because it's not because they're foretelling their death. It's because they're basically painting that picture of what they expect to happen. So again, this is why I get frustrated with artists, because when I hear their music and I'm saying to them, like, why did you make this song? Forget about it being hard. What was the reason behind you creating this song, and what do you hope to expect from it? And they're like, damn, I want to speak to a podcaster, not a freaking therapist. But that's the reality.
Very true.
Very
Very true.
true.
And being someone that has the skill to not only produce but rap and sing, you, do you ever feel like, how do I say this? Do you ever feel pressured? Because as soon as someone hears that a female can do both, or even more, do you ever feel pressured because you think people might be putting Lauryn Hill as the bar?
Hmm, I wouldn't say pressured. I would say more like envious. Um, I've always felt like, as like from my live earlier, I've said that I've had countless songs jacked from me, countless ideas jacked from me. A lot of us don't fit that what my dad likes to call it, an industry look. Um, Industry look is not about, like, pink hair, that's not what that's about. They want you to be able to sell out, and not to be conspiracy theorists about it, but when I was 19, labels, I never wanted to sign a deal. I've always felt like I was worth more independent than I was with any deal. So I was always turning down offers because I just did not like what I was reading. and they don't want an intelligent artist. They don't want an artist that knows. I always tweet out. I mean, you've watched all these behind the music stories. What would make anybody in their right mind want to invest their time into something where it's literally enslavement? And if you don't make that money back, it's mysteriously plane crash at 27. So this is the shit that I always say. When we make music, we can't think about who's going to listen to it, who's going to stream it, who's going to share it. When I create, I'm literally like, I'll bump this myself. And me sharing my music is just you. I'm allowing you into my world to enjoy what I've created. So when I took that out away at about 23, because 19, I was really reckless. I was that loud, drunk chick in the studio that was screaming at everybody, it's my turn, get out, and being sloppy. And again, this is why I love my dad, because, engineers are literally like the catalyst of pushing an artist to being where they need to be. And I'm telling him, just print that. That's what you're slurring here. And, this doesn't sound right. And, you just sound, I don't think you should put that out. And a real engineer would do that. They would tell you, this is not good. Or how are you proud to let an artist throw some shit up on SoundCloud that sounds like they recorded it under their bathroom sink, and people are paying for that.
Yes. Oh my God, I've seen it too many times, so I definitely understand.
Even as an engineer, I've had artists. I had a label at 19, it was called Couture Inc. Music. Um, I didn't want a label. I just was on MySpace looking for people in my area to help me better myself as a producer. I was just starting out. I wasn't putting no reverb on hi-hats or anything. This shit was just flatline. And the artists that I did work with, even though we don't speak anymore, or just life happens, people become parents, a lot of people just put a time limit on, if I don't make it by this age, I'm good. But I'm like, this is in my blood. There is no expiration date. The expiration date is when God calls me home. So
Girl.
whether it's me being like super famous, just the initial idea of being able to sit down and create is everything, because this is my therapy. And when I listen to songs that I've done, I say, oh, I remember that day when I felt that way. I remember that day when I made that beat. I remember the person that hurt me. I remember the love I felt for this person. So it's kind of like, for me, my time capsule. Because when my daughter grows up, because she'd be bumping my shit heavy, I'd be like, look, I ain't Cardi B, but she tells me that I like this song because it makes me feel happy. Or I don't like this song because it makes me feel upset. So kids, they know, and they're moved by frequencies, and music is a bunch of frequencies. And when we realize the science behind that, just the audio decibels of things, the fact that Jimi Hendrix tuned his guitar a certain frequency for a reason, and why they don't do everything in 432 hertz anymore. You know, when you listen to certain celebrities today and you're driving around and you just feel angry. Like that person that cut you off, if you were listening to Sade, that shit would have been, you know what, you want to go right ahead.
Word.
But you listening to, little Uzi Vert, now you want to go and get out the car and punch the person in the face. It's all about the universal language, which is music, and we just have to speak it properly.
Very true. Very
Yeah.
true. Minx, I was on your live earlier,
Right.
and that's one thing that I appreciate. And I'm someone that always, I never want to be looked at as someone who's trying to be a teacher. I'm someone that, if anybody could say anything about me, is like, you know what, Ray is always someone who is always open to learning something. He's always in a student's position. Even if at times I might do something, I was like, yo, you know what? I learned that because you did it. But me, myself, right? I always try to stay a student. And you said something in your live. and you mentioned it here. Um, I want if you could please touch on this topic, little trash can.
Yes. So Little Trash Can was a happy accident, as Bob Ross would say. Um, there was one day, I was becoming frustrated with being able to explain to artists about what was happening in the independent realm when it came to mainstream. So I figured it'd be funny to do a parody, because I always mention the name. Like when I've ever done like all my podcasts, I literally used to say, "Yeah, I don't care if your name is Little Trash Can," So when I go back and I think about it, I heavily manifested that because I just kept saying it and trying to refer the name Little Trash Can as some dude that's washed up, that needs to take a hint, that look, it ain't happening. And I decided since he's washed up, I'm gonna use him. Never created him or anything before. So I just went, took out my iPhone and just was like, hey, what's up? I'm Little Trash Can. And I'm here to help y'all out. And everybody was just like, yo, this is hilarious. This is funny. This is different. Now I understand because it's like I had the whole script down to the T. So, I said, hey, you know what? Let me show you. Let me just show people how Little Trash Can became Little Trash Can and why he sold his soul to the devil. And I did that whole skit. I played the devil. I played the devil's assistant, and I played Little Trash Can. And I would say he's kind of like the person. Like if I was a cartoon dude, I'd probably be him because he's funny, he's intelligent, and he's just like very slick with his mouth. And he's all the opposite qualities that I am. So I figured, hey, people loved that episode. They were like, oh, I wonder what happens. So then it became like social media pretty much said, you have to do this. You have to do this show for us because I would say one comment that I screenshot, and I'm actually going to print it on a t-shirt. Because I believe like certain comments are manifestations as well. And I have saved every comment of people that have said things to me. And like one of them was on Instagram, what was it, on YouTube, when I used to do my YouTube rants about a couple of years ago. Somebody wrote in the comments, you need to do radio. You have such a radio voice, you could do that. And I looked and I said, 10 years ago, wow, somebody said that to me. And now I'm doing radio. So someone said in the comments about Little Trash Can, I love this because I feel so happy when I see him pop up on my screen. Like I drop everything I'm doing just to watch the episode, and please keep them coming. It just takes my mind off of this pandemic. And, when they said that, it was clarity. Like I was called upon by creator to be the creator of that. And it's a lot of work. It's not a 1, 2, 3 thing, but I feel like I owe it to the people that asked me, can you keep this going? So he got jacked. The industry has jacked him. They have taken the entire concept using real artists. One of the things I highlighted was the fact that who's the girl with the pink hair that's always dancing with him and trying to be like sexual with him and stuff. I'm like, it ain't me. But that's another person that I wish, like all my characters are elements of me that I wish I could be. So it's not me. This is, if we were in a Minx universe, that would be me. So yeah, I'm kissing myself. I'm obsessed with myself. I am my girl. Like I am my man. Like this is why I love that particular story, and the fact that the industry felt that instead of reaching out and saying, you got something, you just gonna take my shit and try to run with it. And people at first were like, you capping, you just saying that, people chasing clout. But when I actually showed them the comparisons, that's when people said, that's why you're shadow banned. It's unreal.
Listen, the industry been stealing forever. So, but did you like put this in like an actual like series that we can kind of like go and look at, or that
Yeah.
would be so dope. I would love to watch it.
Yeah, so it started off as the show is called The Mind of Minx. It's a bunch of different skits that I do, mainly which people laugh at. Like I'll be at Walgreens and some incident will occur, and I'm like, this would be a funny skit.
I'm so living like vicariously through you. I'm telling you that right now.
I'm
So
like,
I am like so gonna go look this up.
I was like, this would be a really funny skit. So a lot of the ideas that I have, because I make myself laugh. I always say, if you don't make yourself laugh, you can't spend time by yourself. If you can't love yourself, then no one is ever going to reciprocate that value.
Say that again.
I wish I could. I forgot.
It's all good.
I'm also I have a twin sister, and because we are twins, I would say the elements of manifesting is a lot deeper because twins are more spiritual than regular people. But so Little Trash Can, he has his own Instagram page. It's called what does that call it? Little Trash Can TV. LIL Trash Can TV. And it is a series. We just finished season one. Now he's just dropping music videos and songs because he has to sell his soul, but like he sold his soul. Basically, the premise is he sold his soul to the devil. We're making light of the conspiracies that people say about the industry, which I'm just going to say that it's a conspiracy, allegedly. Um, so he sold his soul to the devil. His girl don't want to be with him because she's like, "Oh, you scamming now? Like, I don't want that around my son." Her name is Charlene. She is literally the type of woman that I wish I could be because my throat chakra is always blocked. A lot of people think that I don't tell people off. When I'm in person, I'm a mouse. I'm a church mouse. But when I get home, I say to myself, damn, I wish I could have defended myself better. I wish I could have spoken up and gave them peace of my mind. So that character, Charlene, she just don't give a shit. She'll tell you off right then and there, and it's hilarious. So that's one thing. You have a Skylar. Skylar is supposed to keep Little Trash Can in check to make sure that he's sticking to the the deal that he signed. So she is able to morph into human form and back into demonic form. But she's also very silly because she likes Little Trash Can, but she's immortal, so she can't really do that. The devil, his name is Lucius. We didn't want to name him Lucifer because only people that know him as Lucifer is in hell. So he's pretty much grazing on earth as one of these big corporate people that buys up everything. And, he's just super rich and is spying on Little Trash Can to have an excuse to take his soul. So it's very deep. I tap into a lot of, elements of certain conversations that have been had in the conscious community. And, you know, imitation, like they say, comedy is like a form of truth. So there's a lot of truths in it. And y'all can definitely check that out on his page. I do sometimes mention it on my page, but I really try to treat him as if he's his own person. So it's kind of cool. I love it.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I
I
definitely just gave it a follow.
Me too. Get
I
out of
just
here.
I just followed Little Trash Can.
Me too. Oh, we gonna follow little trash. I'm telling you, I'm gonna be posting little trash can every time they have a new episode. So I'm definitely gonna be following.
Yes. But to wrap that conversation up, which a lot of people have asked me, do you write scripts for these? I'm like, no, everything is off the top of my head. It's improv. I'm playing every single character. I'm altering my voice. I have all the characters pre-made and I'm literally editing it and then posting it with music and just making it fun. And it's a little time consuming, but when you enjoy something, you forget the time.
You said
Yeah,
it best. You said it best.
Right.
It's the truth though. Sometimes you'll start doing something at like 6 o'clock in the morning, and then that's the next thing you know, it's 6 o'clock in the morning again.
Yeah.
But
I've
it's
had
like
many days
you
like
don't even feel it because it's you're doing something that you love. So
that's
right.
why
mm,
studio sessions. I'm not a fan of the 2 hour limit because you get into it and before you know it, it's oh snap, I'm going over my time. Because
yeah,
time flies when you're having fun
when
doing
you
something that you love. Oh shit, man
yeah
down.
when you're creating when you're creating, it's definitely time consuming, but it's something that has to flow right, in my opinion. Like when you're creating anything, it has to like come. to you, so you can be able to like manifest it and kind of like let it out. You
Right.
know, it's a message. That's how I want to put it. It's like a message that you're receiving from the other realm, and then you have to kind of like, um, you know, tell that message. Somebody's gonna hear it. You know.
Right. And that's why a lot of artists, when they used to come to our studio with my dad and myself, because we work side by side, they only came between the hours of 1 and 4, because 3 o'clock in the morning we know is called the witching hour. And this is where some of them, these celebrities, felt that that's when they were able to charge and channel, the entire uh, feeling. Like I'll tell you, even for myself, being in the booth at, I look at the clock, it's like 2:53, and I'm like, okay, but 3 o'clock comes and we're trying to get this hook right, and I'm just I'm like, Dad, I can't get it, I can't hit those notes. It's a wrap for tonight. He's like, no, it's not. You're gonna get it. We're gonna keep pushing. Drink some water, relax, come back. Now it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm hitting notes that I couldn't hit at 2 o'clock in the morning. I feel an energy. Like, then when Beyonce had explained it, I understood when, she said, oh, before a show, I stand and I just feel like something just flows right through me. And, I become saucer fierce. And I'm like, that's how I feel. I'm in the studio, I'm recording, and I'm Alexis at that point, because I'm not, I'm just in a shell. Like, I know how the song goes in my head. I see how it goes in my head. I hear how it goes in my head, but it's just not coming. And then 3 o'clock in the morning comes, and then she's like, oh, now you are Minx Couture. And I'm hitting, it is just very weird. So I had stopped at some point. I said to my dad, like, I can't record at those hours anymore, because I felt like, at the time I was a very angry rapper. Um, I felt like I was channeling things. Like, I have actually one song that I still kept on SoundCloud just to prove it to people. You actually hear that spirit jump inside of me. Like, you hear it. It's my first rap song that I did was called Oscar the Grouch. And don't ask me why I named it. Well, I named it that because when I made the beat, I felt like the snares sounded like a trash can.
Oh, okay,
Again,
okay.
again, the trash. Yeah, I'm gonna call it the trash theory. I'm gonna write that one down. But I named it Oscar the Grouch because I started off with a very negative bar, and I said, swerve, bitch, is it serious? What's got you hyped up? You ain't a lyricist. You ain't a lyricist. Conspiracist to the pyramids. We could talk hip hop to the Iliad. But prior to me saying all that, you hear me saying, yeah, like you hear my like Alexis self saying, yeah. And then you hear me say it again, yeah. And then the third time you hear, yeah. And it just freaked me out. And I was like, that 3 o'clock in the morning theory is very, very real. So that's why I don't like to record in those hours anymore, because I feel like they're looking for a catalyst. Like, okay, who are we gonna jump into? Oh, her, she's recording. You don't feel like yourself. You don't sound like yourself. And when y'all listen to Oscar the Grouch, all you gotta do is listen to the first 10 seconds. You'll hear the spirit jump inside of me, and you hear like my voice change. Not like the little Kim, she talks like this, and then she gets like, oh, like that is another element of her channeling spirits that are able to, it's kind of like code switching. So it's like, yeah, I got a spirit in me, but I'm code switch and be myself. But then when I'm an artist and I'm in my artistry, we're going to go turn that switch again and code switch back into being myself. So it's just it's very weird when you really think about the spiritual elements behind being a musician.
Yeah, and it's a lot because like in my journey, I actually have had those type of spiritual battles. I sing like in singing in the booth around those times. So it
Yep.
kind of like I understand. I hit notes and I'm like, girl, where Mariah at? Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely know. That's why with artists, they used to come to my lab. Um, I felt like as an engineer, I was one of the best engineers. Women used to come to me because they were tired of feeling like, okay, if I smoke this blunt, is dude gonna try to smash? Or if I drink this Henny, is dude gonna try to run a train with his friends? So I was the only female engineer that female artists and rappers were hitting up to say, look, can I record with you? Because I feel comfortable with you. can I work with you because I feel like you're not going to hurt me. And that was one of the main reasons why I became a producer, because I got so tired of waiting for beats from my dad, buying beats, and then finding out that someone else bought it, can't get my money back, leasing beats because they only allow you a certain amount of time to use it. And then by that time, if they decided they get a major placement, you can't use and promote that song anymore. So it took me 5 years to actually make a decent sounding beat. But I didn't stop there. I kept pushing, I kept learning, I kept watching other producers. I kept saying to myself, how can I get that kick to sound like someone hit me in the back of my head and then slammed my chest with a snare? I said, these were the elements of sound that I had to learn on my own. And if a woman wants to be a producer, it's a lot harder for us because we're not taken seriously as producers. You know, I know a lot of female producers that have had placements. Like I saw one that had a placement with Drake, and the comments were just so sexist and hateful. Oh, she probably got that Drake placement because she bagged him. Instead of just saying, wow, she's talented, she knows how to put a track together, she knows how to make something happen. Why do we have to be smashing people in order to get a placement? So that was one of the things that I absolutely hate about being a female producer, because you have to prove more as a woman. You have to show your work. A dude can easily say, this is my record and I made this beat, and everyone can deal with that. Where you have female producers like me have to go live and show that I am making this beat. And people still jack. But I do it for my followers now. I do it for female producers that are just coming up or wanting to learn how to produce. I teach them. I take my time to show them it's more than just music theory. It's the theory of, do you feel what you are making? And that's what I love to teach them.
That is awesome. That is awesome. And I'm actually glad to hear that there are more female producers out there, because you don't find them as much, out here, period, you know. And being a woman in this world, period, is kind of like really difficult. And I'm glad that we're all finally standing up and saying, hey, look, enough is enough,
Right.
So I commend you for all you do, and for, standing up for females in the industry. Definitely, definitely commend you. Thank you so much.
Well, my female co-host for my show that I have during the week, Random Talking Indie Music, she's actually a female producer too. So to have two female producers cutting it up and just talking about life, the culture, just topics, it's just dope to have that. Because when people come through and they see us, they're like, what do you do? And I'm like, I'm a producer. They're like, what does she do? She's a producer and DJ. And they're like, two female producers, I'm subscribing right away. I'm like, okay, well, make sure you subscribe to our channel so that we can hear and buy some shit. That'd be nice.
And that's why I posted the story, because aside from you, I also follow other female producers. So, and that's why at the top of the story it says female makes beats.
Right.
Because you said on your live today, females make beats too. And it's like, yo, yeah. And here I am following some. And so I know they on Instagram only allows a certain amount of people to get tagged in a story. So I was like, damn, I couldn't tag everybody I wanted to tag. So I was like, you know what? Let me just tag a few and then just post, like, you know what? If you know one, tag them, but also tag me in it so I can follow them as well.
Right.
Because,
Yeah,
female producers should be highlighted more.
absolutely.
They are, I would say, but the thing, like even with female rappers, they always say, oh, I'm so tired of seeing twerking and people deep throating and all this stuff on mics. And it's just, women in hip hop are more than that. This is no shade to anyone that is mainstream, but if you have to sell sex and you're notable for being risque and sexy, then you're not really going to be around here very long. Because Little Kim, I call it the Kim theory, because they all thought that this was like the blueprint. You wear a wig, hang out with a bunch of goons, drop your voice a couple of octaves and be like one of these dudes out here. And Little Kim made that her thing. You see what I'm saying? And when you try to tell these up and coming artists, I'm like, why are you wearing a purple wig? Why are your titties out? You know, why are you twerking? What are your bars like? And they get so offended. I'm like, could you, if you went to a radio station right now, spit 16 off the top of the head? You couldn't do that. You would have to take your phone out. I just get so frustrated because, you know, there are amazing lyrical women out here and they don't get the same shine because they're spitting conscious shit. I'm a conscious, I'm not gonna say I'm a conscious rapper, but you know, when you're talking about realigning chakras as a threat to somebody, I'm like, yeah, when you're making a song, like my latest song I did called Meditate, I called myself the Bruja with bars. A lot of people that have heard that song Meditate, they don't realize that the hook is a affirmation. So when they're driving around listening to it and they're saying, I meditate, I'm cool, I'm calm, relaxed, I meditate. I'm like, you're repeating a mantra for your day. You're chilling and you feel relaxed because you are meditating with me in a song. So I literally say, like, you know, I'm not saying that women have to be rapping about, you know, burning sage and shit. But what I'm saying is that we are in the next peak and level of life of spiritual awakening. And the more people wake up, the more that you really feel like your body is rejecting what you're being served. And you get tired after a while. Like I listen to NLE Choppa, right? People like, oh, he's fake woke, he's fake conscious. I'm like, but do you understand why he's being censored? Why they haven't pushed him? Why they keep threatening to take his music down? Because he's not supposed to be telling the masses about, you know, buying organic food, buying seeds so you can plant them. You're not supposed to hear this from rappers. You're supposed to be influenced to buy guns. You're not supposed to be influenced to get CMOS. So, you know, the industry is like, how dare you? And we're going to blacklist you until you get it. And that's why I really feel, and, you know, knock on wood, I unfortunately have a bad feeling about him. I've worried about his safety. I've even sent him emails personally to say, I think something bad is going to happen to you. And please, you know, protect yourself. You ask for your ancestors for your protection because they don't want you to transmit these messages with your music. And, you know, when King Vaughn passed, he was the first person I thought of because I was seeing King Vaughn. I kept saying, there's something's going to happen to him. And I'm worried about that. And sadly, I was right. Like I was with Whitney, like I was with Prince, like I was with Michael, like I was with Aaliyah. You know, they speak to me. They tell me, you know, I download messages from the spiritual server, and we're not in for a good ride if we keep using music for such a negative light and a negative way, because a lot of people are getting lost by what they are listening to.
Yeah. Um,
Telling you, bro, she's speaking truth. Speechless.
no, yeah, definitely. I'm
Speechless.
definitely speechless. And you said something a little while ago, about one of the beats that you've got on was a Talib Kweli beat.
Right.
Now, how was that interaction with Talib Kweli?
Fuck them. And I mean that respectfully. With that exchange with Talib Kweli, I wasn't even on his page. I wasn't even following him. I don't even follow celebrities. I just don't like their vibration with me. Like I'm just like, I don't give a fuck about your life. What are you doing to help somebody? Um, a couple of artists had tagged me on his recent podcast, and they were like, yo, like this dude is talking reckless to us. And you know me, I feel like, you know, my name Alexis, because I always say we have to be mindful of our names because our names are called upon for a specific reason. Alexis is a derivation of Alexander. Alexander means the protector of all. And when people were tagging me and they were saying to me that, he's talking reckless. He's not listening to us. He's being disrespectful. I came through like, like a mother would, like, what are y'all doing with my kids? And I saw that he was telling them, go fuck yourself, blah, 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 blah. And I don't care about no scams. There ain't no scams going on. And y'all just chasing clout. So I jumped into the ring because I was like, you ain't going to just disrespect my peoples like this. And I told him, I was like, yo, people are coming to you because you have a platform. You are saying that you are for the underground. You are saying that you are for the independent artists. You even created a Patreon account because you felt like you were being, blackballed for making money for your hard work. And you have artists that felt like they can confide in you and come to you and let you know that, hey, there are rappers scamming us. The same people that you vowed that ain't going to happen to my peoples. And even him saying that he's underground. I'm independent. I'm underground. So you should have been for the underground. So his exchange with me was calling me a dumb bitch. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. So I dropped a verse on his ass to remind him that, yo, I'm divinely protected, honey. You're not going to sit there and disrespect me and have your fans coming at me like I'm crazy. And the only one person that actually jumped in was Jaguar Wright. I got a direct message from her engineer and said, it was I was, again, I'd be scared when celebrities and shit hit me up because I try to avoid them like the plague. And the engineer says, Miss Jaguar Wright would like to speak with you. May I have your cell phone number? I was like, something inside of me, spirit, said, give it to them. So I'm like, okay, sent it. Sunday morning, I saw a number, wasn't in my phone. I usually ignore those because I'm like, is this scam likely again? So I answered the phone. I'm like, hello, is this Minx? I was like, who wants to know? She goes, this is Miss Wright, Jaguar Wright. How are you today? And I literally like, this is okay. So I go into my she shed and, we had a 2-hour conversation that left me in tears.
Wow.
And one of the things that she said to me, because, she has issues with Talib and left me with this, she says, what is your name? I said, Alexis. She said, no. What's your name? It's Minx. She said, what is a Minx? I said, it stands for music involved, no exceptions. No. Now, Miss Wright, when you speak with her, you kind of feel like your mom is like telling you, oh, no. So tell me what happened at that party that you said you wasn't going to. No. Tell me this. So I was like, my name is Minx. She says, your name is Minx. And what is a Minx? I said, a Minx is, let's go on Google. Let's find out. So she takes out her phone. She goes on Google. She says, a Minx is an animal. She says, my name is Jaguar. That makes me an animal. These are our animal spirits. She says, do you know how expensive minxes are? I said, yeah, my dad has one. I used to sleep with that shit. It was like a weighted blanket. So she says, I want you to remember a minx with elite and people that are super rich. Minxes, a mink coat. They'll wear that shit in the spring. They'll wear that shit in the winter. They'll wear that shit in the summer. They just want to be seen with it, which means that it has value. And because it has value, it can't be resold at a lower price. It can only go up in value. So she says, so why are you giving people minks for free? The tears. And that was literally one of the best conversations. So she was like, look, don't worry about Talib Kweli. He's upset about his situations that's going on with himself. And it's hard out here for these artists. And they're going to be very combative. They're going to be very rude. They're going to talk to you like you ain't shit. And she said, and that's because the playing field is even, which is true. So I felt like I had to go through this experience with Talib for Jaguar to reach out to me to remind me of my purpose and to stop thinking that I have no value, to stop thinking that I'm nothing, to stop feeling like I was hopeless and helpless because at the end of the day, you can't kill a minx. A minx lives on and on forever.
Hello. I know that's right.
Very, very deep conversation with her.
That was like gems dropping right now. Like,
Yeah.
here, take this, take that.
Wow. And going from there, where did y'all leave off? Is there a possible is there a Minx production
And it
possibly?
looks like there's a mix of everything, honey.
I would love to work with her. I because my last page got taken down. I mean, she has not. I don't think because she's been dealing with a lot of things going on with the gossip world.
Mhm.
I haven't told her my new page or anything, but I really feel like I think that our moment and our connection was for her to get me back into balance. And if the future does call for it, I would love to work with her. I would love to write with her. I would love to know her. Um, but I think Spirit at that time wanted me to speak with her because Spirit needed to relay a message to me, and it was through her. So I'm open to anything. I'm open to any options, but I'm truly indebted and grateful for her to pull me out of that funk subconsciously like she did.
Where
That's dope.
that's really dope. And salute to Jaguar, right? Um, okay, I have this question for you, right?
Hmm.
Dun,
And
dun,
it's
dun.
something that
Sounds hard. Sounds
no, no,
scary, bro.
it's
It's like,
something that
No, Your Honor, I wasn't there.
being an independent creator, and I'm pretty sure you come across a bunch of other independent creators. What are the pros and cons, if there are any? What are the pros and cons to strategic releasing versus let me drop this 16 right now on this beat and let me just set it up for release?
I wouldn't say that there's pros and cons to that. One of the things is if we fail to plan, we're planning to fail because if we're not Beyonce. Beyonce could drop a song and mofos will rejoice until the high heavens. When you are independent, um, I always say fan base, supporter base is extremely important over releases, over any of those things. I've dropped songs that I didn't even tell people that they were being distributed. I didn't even promote some of the songs. But when people were reaching out and saying, I just heard this, yo, why didn't you tell me that you was dropping it? And I'm like, that's a fan. That's a supporter. Um, as far as like pre-releases and all that stuff goes, for the way that social media has changed, it's necessary because algorithms are not our friend. Um, we have the powers that be that are controlling who is seen, that is controlling who's heard. Um, we know that I'm an analytic head. I read analytics all day. Becoming addicted to that was not good because now I'm sitting there saying to myself, it's not necessarily the numbers that I'm concerned with, it's the engagement. I have 100 followers and 10 people left a comment and I didn't even hit like. I didn't even say to them, thank you for, taking the time to stop by my page. So they kind of feel like, well, F her because I'm not going to keep coming back here and showing her love and leaving comments. So when it comes to the music, I felt like connecting with my fan base and letting them know, like they know I literally drop one song a month. For me to drop 3 songs in 1 month, they're like, something's wrong with Minx. And I've had people DM me and say, is everything okay? Everything okay at home? Is your family all right? And I'm like, why would you ask me that? You dropped 3 songs this month. Oh, I was just, it's the retrograde. I feel more creative right now. And that's why. And they're like, oh, I just wanted to make sure. That's a fan. That's someone that is in tune with my schedule of how I do things. Now, when you have people that drop songs every week, it's not genuine to me. Give us a project. You know what I'm saying? It's more than just, you know, I have a lot of like people that have been supportive of my podcast since the first day that I started. You know, they were there from when I had a USB mic. Now I have an SM7B. You know what I'm saying? That's a come up. It's a come up because I feel like people that have been loyal have seen my growth. You know, they remember when I literally had like pixelated, you know, webcam, and now I'm in HD. So when it comes to your artistry, it doesn't matter if you're a podcaster, it doesn't matter if you're a rapper, it doesn't matter if you're a rapper turned podcaster. It's just you have to say to yourself, I have to plan this out, because when you don't plan these things, it doesn't become a second nature. And it should be first nature to say, I know my fans. I have to reach out to them. I have to tell them that I got a new song dropping on Friday. I have to let them know that I thank them for their support. We don't ever thank people for their time. And this is what we are on. We are on borrowed time, but we are on each other's time. So I've always felt like when someone is dropping a new release and they're tagging me, hey, check this out. I'm like, no, because you didn't engage with me to let me know, hey, Minx, like I hate people that drop links. Check this out. Okay. But if I've had artists that drop me links, 17 years old, 16 years old, hey, Minx, I've been a loyal supporter of yours. I've always I've probably missed a couple of your episodes, but I really think that my song would fit your platform. And, you know, I would really appreciate it if you play it. If not, that's cool. Can I buy a t-shirt? Now that's a person that I'm going to rock with. And I'm going to say, you don't need to buy a t-shirt. Tell me where I can send it. And building a rapport with your fans.
Mm.
So people, they really think, oh, I'm going to go on Bandcamp and make a killing. No. Why would I pay 99 cents for your record and you're not making me feel welcomed in your universe? That just doesn't work that way. And that's why when I began my journey of becoming a paid subscription service, I was scared to death to ask people just for $1. Like, oh my God, I'm not worth $1. And I was like, wait a minute. I'm giving away free information, free jewels. I'm putting together PDFs, Excel spreadsheets. People are asking me, can you run the data on my Instagram? I'm like, yeah, oh, okay. And oh, yeah, yeah, okay. And then someday I was like, wait a minute. My dad cursed me out. He said, what the hell are you doing? Why are you doing all this for free? Why are you doing this? I was like, Dad, but you know, when you start asking for money from people, then they start really thinking that you feeling yourself. He goes, is your time not worth it? You are up at 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, high as a kite, doing research where you could be sleeping, because you're trying to make like your loyal followers, like people that I love, you know, I'm like, they need this information, Dad. They need to know that Spotify is doing this. And he's just like, your time is worth it. It doesn't matter if it's $1. I don't care if it's $5 a month. If people can go out to buy a Dutch, they can go out to buy those Jordans. If people can go out and do and spend money on dumb shit like a $500 slot on a Jadakiss mixtape that won't get played, I'm not worth $1 a month. That's what clarity I needed. Artists always feel like I don't want to charge them, so just know your worth. You know that you spent $150 to have that song mixed, mastered, and all that. You better get a return on that investment. So don't be afraid. And I'm telling you guys this from my heart, because I was afraid. Don't be afraid to tell people, if you support my content, my music, my podcast, my OnlyFans, you want to see a titty, just please support me, period. We
Very
can't be
true.
doing free 99 anymore. And free 99 is how we get hurt in the end. And we feel discouraged and saying, what's the point anymore?
Word. Funny story, right? Speaking of Jadakiss, so I'm on Facebook and it's I guess this is Jadakiss looking for artists for a cipher. So I'm looking at the comments and it's like, oh, choose me, dog. You won't regret it. And then I'm like, you know what? I want to try something because I noticed that this account, Jadakiss's account, is responding. I was like, okay, I'm gonna try something in Spanish, right? I put, this is a scam alert. Jadakiss, whoever's controlling the account, responds, send that link, Ray. I was
Wow.
like, yes, I got him.
Wow.
That's
It's
crazy.
even in the messages, you're getting I'm getting the constant messages. Get this at a discount. Okay, so how did it go? A discount go from $25 to 60. I was like, all
Mm-hmm.
right. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, I see what's going on. No, thank you. Mute, archived.
Block.
Yeah, because then it's crazy because
Exposed.
as soon as you do that, now you're on the blacklist. Now you're getting blocked from these mainstream artist account, or they're jumping in responses to you on social media, calling you out of your name. And it's just like, wow, like, because I took it as, you know what? COVID came, venue shut down, the mainstream artists didn't have a way to make their money because a lot of them relied on shows, and they would show with the shows came the merch. So now they're hurt. So what do? Allow Block 365, the Block 365 to, I guess, get in bed with them. Hey, let's get rappers to pay for, depending on the artist, let's get them to pay between 4 and 600,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just spitballing. To get on the mixtape. Boom. It's not even a mixtape, it's a playlist. I'm paying you $400, five, six, even seven, maybe, depending who, to get on a playlist where your new music ain't even on it.
Right.
It's overbooked.
Right.
It's like, yo, this is the new showcase. It's the new showcase.
Crazy. It's crazy. Even like for instance, artist Vanity. I don't know if you've ever heard of Vanity, but
Hmm.
she went at it with Flex because he was charging her. I think it was like 200. He said, if you don't got 250,000 for me to spin your record on my radio station, then I don't even want to hear it. And she went in on his comments, and it's like, we're just creators trying to make, create what our, oh my God, how do I say this? I don't want to say this. The messages that we're getting, we're just trying to put them out there,
Right.
and you're just blocking that to listen to all this trash music. And when you listen to it, because it's on repeat on the radio, eventually that becomes something that's embedded in you. You start believing those thoughts and stuff like that. So yeah, I definitely seen that before with the industry period. I mean, it's ugly. Like if you know the behind the scenes of the industry, it is so fucking ugly, bro.
It really is. It's very scary. Um, how they get down. But artists that are mainstream, you don't see 6ix9ine asking for placements. Um, you just don't see like these people that are on charts. Like, why isn't the baby asking for a mixtape from independent artists? You know, I feel like, I've been working with my peoples. We're working on a whole like documentary behind the origination of the scams in hip hop. And you're talking about back in the day when DJs actually promoters used to come.
Yes.
They used to say, "Oh, here's a book of tickets. You got to sell these, and then when you finish selling all of them, I want you to come to my office, which is not really their office, and give me the money. And then you give them the money like an idiot. You don't take your cut like an idiot. And then you have your whole friends and family coming out. You got grandma on the freaking walker, like, yes, my baby's getting ready to get up there and sing. And then there's no venue. There's no show. The people don't even know what the hell is going on. And this is a true story. This actually happened to me. As a manager, you know, with Couture Music, we were invited. I was doing a lot of the business because, obviously, as a woman in business, I love to be in positions of power because I'm an alpha female and I like to intimidate men. And I know that sounds sinister, but just to see a man, I was in the car business, for instance, just to see a man like punch a table because you won the sale over him, and you just like you're in your red bottoms, and you just like have a good day, and then you go into the
Mm.
bathroom and you just like, I can't believe that just fucking happened. Like, I just love those types of positions. And, you know, I was working with this promoter and I was like, look, I have 5 artists. They're amazing. 2 of them are ready to go. Can we get a show together? Guys like, yeah, but you guys got to sell tickets. So I made them go on MySpace and Facebook when Facebook first came out. And I'm just like, come on, guys, I'm gonna help you sell these tickets. We just got to sell 10 tickets and we good. And somehow or another, I paid. And mind you, I was a real label. My artists didn't have to pay for anything. No studio time, no beats, no sessions, makeup, hair, photo shoots. Everything was on my dime. Um, and what happened was, the female artists, I got their hair done, makeup, everything. We were on Instagram at the time when it first dropped, like all hyped up. Oh, you're gonna see us at New Jersey. We're going to Atlantic City, y'all. Yo, we're gonna be headlining. Everything. And as soon as we get there, one of my rivals, who couldn't stand my guts, called up, and I know it was him that did it. Called up the Taj Mahal in New Jersey and said, there's a chick named Minx Couture. I heard that, they're coming with like a bunch of people. And, through the grapevine, I heard some of them got guns. So, be careful. So we get off of the bus that I paid $2,500 for my artists and their families to come and support them. And the guy goes, excuse me. Are you Minx? I'm like, yes. Okay, can I please talk to you on the side? I said, sure. What's up? You can't perform tonight. I said, what do you mean? We just drove fucking 4 hours to get here. There's been, somebody called and said, I'm like, so instead of just searching us, you gonna just tell me that I have to tell all these people that we can't do a show tonight? So he's like, oh, unfortunately, these are nice people. What do you mean with these are nice people? I took out my black card. I said, these are nice people? I said, what, because I'm black, I don't got money? You think I'm a drug dealer? I have a real job. Like, what are you talking about? So my artists were very disappointed in me. On that ride home, I said to them, this is what happens, y'all. You would have thought that they spent money the way that they was acting.
Yo, seriously.
I just lost like almost $5,000 on something that did not happen. And their families were taken care of. So they didn't understand like the sadness that I felt, the embarrassment that I felt having to go and say, hey guys, it didn't happen and blah, blah, blah. And people laughing at me behind the scenes. But, that's what made me realize that I don't know this business. I don't understand this business to even manage anybody. I don't know the ins and outs. I don't have connects. I'm relying on people coming to me saying, I want to help you. But in fact, they're trying to sleep with me. They're trying to get into my artist's head about, come to me, come with us because we can help you. And it's a very nasty business. And I said, I didn't quit the music business. I took a hiatus because I needed to learn the business that I wanted to be in. And that's how I came out as the guru of marketing, promotion, and even inspiring and motivating artists to continue and to not let your wife or your husband tell you that you got to hang it up. I'm that voice of reason to tell them, you're not doing this for them. You're doing this for you. Your messages are for people that, I think of times that I cried because I was bullied, or I cried because, a boy broke my heart, and I could just throw on that song and feel better, or say, damn, they made a song about how I'm feeling. This is what it's about. So the music business, we have to learn the music business. You won't flourish unless you know the music business. This is why Taylor Swift is recording her shit all over again. We are trusting the wrong people. We are trusting and too trusting to people that claim they want to help us. Nobody helps anybody unless there's a benefit for them. What is the benefit for me? The benefit for me helping artists is that I go to sleep knowing that I was able to have someone get that idea light bulb to say, I need to register my music. Minx is totally right. This is why I'm not getting paid.
Mm.
I feel that's the universe saying, you got them their money. I'm going to bless you with money. I'm going to keep blessing you because you keep helping. And I'm genuine with it. I genuinely care. I see a lot of myself in these artists, these hardhead knuckleheads that think they know everything. They think they have all the answers. And I keep telling them I was there. This is why I'm here, 30, almost 35. And because I have younger siblings, I'm guiding them because I didn't have older siblings to guide me. I didn't have, like, I had my dad, but you want that cool cousin, you want that cool sister to sit down and say, yo, bro, why are you releasing this? This don't sound good. You need that voice of reason.
Yes.
You have to have that. If everyone is a yes man in your corner, then you don't have a corner. You just
Mm.
have a yes man.
Yes, ma'am.
That's it. So that's just the reality. People don't want to learn. It's too hard. It's too this, too that. Hopefully someday I can do my ASMR voice and you could just put on Spotify and I'm just like, register your music.
And that's dope that you say that because it literally ties into what I had here as far as, and it also ties to what I asked about strategic planning versus immediate upload. Because when I see someone constantly upload their music, it's like, well, did they copyright it?
Mm-hmm.
Are they registering it with BDS, Sound
Mm-hmm.
Exchange? Are they under BMI? Are they under ASCAP? Are they under CSEC? So I watch that because it's like, I'm sorry, I'm not the type of person. I'm more of a body of work type of person, type of artist, and I have nothing against people who upload singles. That's not what I'm saying. My thing is, if you're gonna do it, make sure you're going about it the right way. Freestyles, aka promos, that I don't care about.
Mm-hmm.
It's you put your you spent 4 hours pouring your heart out into a personal song to upload it 2 days after you get the final mix. Well, damn, is it registered?
And notice how you said final mix. It's a mix. It's not even a master.
Exactly. You're so excited. So I'm dropping something in 2 days. Yo, you're not on that Beyonce level. You're not on that J level. You're not on that M level. You're not on the level that these artists can just surprise the world. And it's like that Elmo picture, that the explosion and the big eyes. You're not on that level that you can do that. So my thing is, yo, take the time, copyright your stuff. Because I'm telling you, when you get that paper in the mail, you feel like you did something right.
That
Copyright.
quarterly check is everything.
Get that, register with whatever your poison is, ASCAP, BMI, whatever it is. Register. Go about it the right way and don't feel like, oh, uh Little Yachty posted 3 songs in like the last 4 weeks. So you think that's the formula.
Right.
They're there for a reason, and you're at where you're at for a reason. If you want to get there, then there's a format to this.
Right. And a lot of people are not even, using the right distribution companies. Their research is not being done. It's like people are so afraid to turn off Love and Hip Hop and turn on a webinar, which are very much offered for free on LinkedIn. There's a lot of webinars that sound like Spotify is doing. You had what other label? There was I think it was 300. They did a webinar. You know, Webinars are your friend. You can stop them, you can pause them, you can rewind them. You just take out your pen and paper, your book, you know, and just attend them. It doesn't kill you if you can sit for 25 minutes on someone's live stream rolling up and keep saying, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up, hold up. You can sit through a webinar. A lot of the stuff that I educate people on who don't want to invest into my knowledge, I'm like, how else do you think I get this information? I had to sacrifice something. One of the things I've had to sacrifice is my music. I've had to sacrifice my gaming. I've had to sacrifice time with my family. I've had to sacrifice a lot just to absorb the knowledge that I need in order to educate. And when artists are saying to me, you know, can you tell me how to do this? I'm like, can I ask you a question? How do you think I found out how to do that? DuckDuckGo is your friend. You know, you do research. You have people that literally on forums give away sauce. And I mean sauce that I'm like, I have to DM the person like, you should take that shit down because that's $1 million advice. And they're like, it ain't for me though. It ain't for me. It's for y'all. So if you seek, you shall find.
Mm-hmm.
And support the people. And there's a lot of people that are like me. We call ourselves a nerd gang. We are nerds. We are the people that you used to put gum in our chairs. We are the people that used to shove into the lockers. We are the people that you said we were never going to get buns. We are the people that you used to prank us to say, I want to take you on to prom, and it's a prank. And yes, this is eerily suspicious because it happened to me. So being bullied my whole life, being treated like shit, made fun of, my friends were my games. My friends were my books. My friends were my characters I drew, my characters that I used to imitate their voices on a little voice recorder and just play it back and make myself laugh. I mean, I had my twin sister, but my twin sister was what I call the type of person that could be in a clique. And I would come to her and say, so and so, you know, so they tried to cut my hair in class. And she would flip out, but it was always on some, that's my sister. Uh, just leave her alone. Just don't tell anyone that we're sisters. Like, yeah, we're twins, but we're fraternal. We don't look alike. She's darker pigmented than me. So of course, when I would say, Black History Month, woohoo, like you're light skinned. What do you know? I literally hated myself. And to get to a level of suicidal ideologies, getting into being gothic and hanging out with what we call the crowd of kids that would probably shoot up the school. They were the sweetest people.
Mm-hmm.
Come to Hot Topic. We're gonna get some, Jack Skeleton shirts. You know, let me introduce you to Metallica. This song really helped me. Let me introduce you to this rock band. And that's when I started playing the guitar and listening to metal and saying, fuck y'all, I don't care about, and that anger, I found something that matched it, which was metal. So while my sister's listening to Tupac, I'm listening to like Green Day and shit.
Mhm.
And people always used to say, you're trying to be a white girl, you talk like a white girl, you act like a white girl, but I fit in somewhere. And these people accepted me. They used to call us the lackeys. They play hacky sack and smoke weed all day. Yeah, that was me. I thank my years for that because I felt like it helped me become a melodic producer. A lot of my melodies stem from listening to pop and metal and, you know, listening to my favorite band at the time was Third Eye Blind. They have a song called Narcolepsy. And that was the first time I've ever listened to a song and the tears just start falling down. And it wasn't because of what they were saying. It was just how that guitar was strumming. And it was just so, I used to have chills. And my sister would be like, man, turn that shit off. You black. So the bottom line of that is you gotta fuck with the people that fuck with you.
Right.
You can't beg people to rock with you and support you because we're in the same genre. I want people to look at me like she's the underdog that made it out, whatever out is. I don't consider fame out. I consider people that I can touch daily and change their life with just a little bit of information or a little silly skit or a podcast, a radio show, or even just saying, that song you did, that shit was dope. Just to know that somebody felt good by interacting with me, even if it's for a moment, is why I'm here in life and why I love life and why I feel life is so precious because we are giving gifts that are ultimately turned into something that's a curse. And when we get into that level of, I'm tired of making music, I'm tired of being a rapper, I'm tired of doing this, I'm tired of doing that, that's just society that made you tired of it. It's not you being tired of it. You're falling into the traps of what is considered success. Success is being able to pass on and knowing that you left your DNA of creativity and love and being a person that is caring and a person that will be remembered as long as they keep speaking about you. We don't ever die as long as people keep speaking on you. And that's just the important conversations that we have to have as people is, what do you want people to say about you after you are gone?
Word.
Where's the bomb, bro? This is where you need the.
Yo, Minx, as we get closer to the end here, I want to ask you what um with COVID, what have you taken away from this time that you were given?
With COVID,
Yeah.
I will honestly say COVID to me was our information age. So when many people used it to be creative, they used it to be, you know, living in fear because I believe fear is the illness. Um, I know it's very real. I know some people will say, well, how could you say fear is the illness? I've actually lost family from COVID. Rest in peace to my cousin. You know, that was a big blow to me. She was the person that I would DM and say, how can I be a boss bae like you? How can I have a backbone like you? But she didn't take no shit. And she used to always say to me when I used to write on Facebook, I'm very sad today, guys. My feelings got hurt. She used to say, girl, you better take that shit down. DM me. Don't write that shit. Send whatever status you do from now on, send it to me first to review. So her being my backbone and her no longer being here, I mean, she's not here physically. I feel that COVID opened my eyes to searching for ourselves because Corona means crown. And that's the one thing that people don't get. Words mean things. Corona means crown. And that's why when I did my song called Living, I did it when the COVID first came. And I just said in the song, which a lot of people, some of my friends caught it, but I said, don't let people come for your crown, meaning don't let this illness stop you from elevating to the highest level that you could be at. And I will definitely say that if we didn't learn anything now, we're getting ready to, because we just got into the age of Aquarius. We're going to be downloading new information from the spirit. And, we just have to take heed to the messages and don't look at the pandemic crisis as a curse on us. This was God's way of saying, get your ass in the room and get into your books. That was what God said to us. And if we don't see that, then we have to then review, did we use this time wisely? Did we use this time wisely? Did you start a business? Did you start a hustle? Did you tell your boss to go fuck himself when you realized that you could work from home and spend time with your family? Did you realize that money really has no value? Did you realize that time is the essence of everything at this point? Did you tap into your own frequency? Did you reach out to other people that you saw online that are saying that they feel sad and suicidal and that they want to take their life because they can't deal with being in an introverted space? Did you reach out to these people? If you have done nothing that I have said, then you have learned nothing from this. And you will unfortunately not survive what's to come because there is no going back to what it was. This is the new normal. And to those of you that miss being around people and I miss clubbing and shit, honey, I club in VR. I put on my Oculuses, honey, and I'm like the DJ in virtual reality. I'm like, who's an artist here? Who's an artist? I gotta, give me your QR code for Spotify, and I take my Oculus joints and I scan it and I play that shit. And mofos is in. They're either dressed as furries or whatever the fuck they want to be, but they're dancing in their living room, and they're chilling. I'm like, you chilling with me though. That's what makes this experience amazing. And VR is next. We're going into virtual reality next. We have Snoop Dogg hosting events in virtual reality, cutting up on the ones and twos. We have concerts. I watched an entire Michael Jackson concert in tears. I was like, Michael. But this is how we have to adapt. We have to adapt to change. And right now that we are in this new age, it's either you're going to jump on and learn everything that's new, or you're just going to sit back and just say, I wish how things used to be. I'm not ready to elevate. I'm scared. No, don't live your life that way. We are here to adapt with the changes. God made us that way. This is why we have web fingers. We adapted from being water creatures in our mother's uterus. Okay. We adapted very well. So don't use this time to wonder what is going to happen next. Make your next now. And that's how we have to live life.
And this is where the bomb drops.
Boom.
Gems, gems, gems. Listen, this is nothing but, this is a blessing. That's all I have to say.
Thank you.
It really is, because you dropped a lot of gems, a lot of you've answered questions that people probably
An
had.
orb is flying right by you.
Yeah, a lot of people that probably have the questions, the answer. You've had the answers that a lot of people probably have questioned so many times, you know what I mean? And I'm actually happy that you came and dropped the gems. Next time, can we have bombs, please? Bombs, douche, douche.
Minx, what's next for Minx?
Whatever I want.
Mm.
This is my universe. What's next for Minx is possibly maybe dropping my second EP. I've been slacking on that. Definitely Little Trash Can has like his EP is better than mine. I'm very upset by that. We feature I literally feature myself on my own records. I have to actually act like his voice on these songs where people say, you sound like Drake. I'm like, Drake sounds like me, honey.
Hello.
And of course, more podcasting, more gaming, because I'm building my whole gaming joint. And I just want to, just connect with people more. And, I just want to have fun. Life is not promised. And I know that I'm guaranteed happiness. And if I have to create it myself, then that's what I have to create. And I appreciate everybody that rocks with me and people that respect me because I respect back. And to Big Trill, your day is coming, my friend. And I will get my page back. And I am going to show these artists how you buy followers, likes, views, impressions, as well as outside of Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, on Snapchat, where you can actually fake those numbers. I want to show people how they actually fake Spotify numbers. The fact that it's not $50 for 10,000 streams, it's really $7.30. I'm going to be that person that's going to drop those bombs on the reality. I'm going to teach artists to invest wisely into this. And these are all manifestations, by the way. And I'm going to educate artists on how fake this industry is, how fake this machine is, and may the creator protect me at all costs, because if information like this gets into the wrong hands, You'll have people like Big Trill who are going to use it and take where he could have made more money if he just educated and taught them how to do it themselves.
Mm, damn.
You're already doing it. Don't, you're not manifesting it. You're doing it. Like
I'm
you're
doing it.
doing it right now.
I'm I don't believe in hope. I believe in yes, this is what's happening.
Yes.
So that's definitely my next bag of tricks, and I just have to figure out the best way to monetize it where I can make a little bit of money off my time, but I want my listeners and viewers to gather the jewels and be able to build their own empires when I am through.
That's
Word.
awesome.
Word. Minx, let everybody know. Plug everything you need to plug. Let everybody know where they can find you, what to tune into, what to subscribe to. The
A little
floor is
trash
yours.
can.
The floor
I,
is yours.
I will keep it very simple. If you follow me on Instagram, which is at Minx Couture, you can click the link that's in my bio, which is a smart link. It's going to look like you tripped on acid for a minute. And all of my links for everything is on there, down to music, to my live streams, down to my gaming, and as well as my Patreon. And I don't want anyone to just sign up for my Patreon. I want you to introduce yourself to me and let me know if I can help you first before we even go down that route of talking price. So definitely hit that link in the bio. It takes you everywhere, that down the little rabbit hole of everything that I do in my universe.
Nice.
Word. And I want to say this was amazing. Minx, you're amazing. Um, this was this was
I don't
amazing.
know. I think
I'm
amazing is a
yeah.
cheap word. I think it's phenomenal. It's better.
I'm at a loss for words for the most part. I want to thank you so much for taking the time out to join us in this discussion. Because like I've said many times, I hate the format of interviews. I'm the type of person that I love to have a discussion to get more of an insight to the person who I'm in a conversation with. And you definitely left me speechless for the majority of tonight.
I appreciate that. And yes, it wasn't my time, it was our time. So we spent our time together.
That's a great way to
Definitely.
look at it. um, so as we end this and we about to sign off, Jomy,
What you want me to say? That
any
she's.
final any
What you want
any
me to
final
say? I
any
said
final
everything I
thoughts?
had to say. No, I was listen. She's just like wow the shit out of me. I'm sitting here like, where the hell you been? They had you hiding somewhere. I'm like, who the fuck she's at?
I was hiding.
Yeah. No,
Word.
I'm
So
serious because everything that you've said from the beginning to the end is just like beyond awesome. Like these are things that um a lot of us that have seen because I've been in behind the scenes of the music industry as well. Um and that these new people need to hear, these new artists, these new um, individuals that are coming into the industry or that have the vision and haven't actually went and gone for it. You know what I mean? So a lot of these things that you have said has definitely brought a lot of, I feel like, peace to a lot of people's minds and answered a lot of people's questions. So I definitely commend you. I appreciate you. Hope you know that I appreciate you. And this is not the end of it because we need to interview Little Trash Can. All right. All right.
He'll be excited about that.
word. So real quick, shouts to everybody who normally tunes in, and tonight is a little different because this is being pre-recorded where normally we do live. And I want to thank everybody who normally tunes in, whether you're a new a new viewer or a follower. I thank you so much. If you want to check this out as well as the rest of Quarantine and Rap, youtube.com/C /Ray Pearson. Check out, I have an entire Quarantine and Rap playlist. Um, and on that note, you already know. Right.
We out of here.
Suave.
Until next time, Grand Rising, my beautiful people. Stay safe.
Yeah,
Wait,
ladies and gentlemen,
put some mints.
I'm pretty
my
sure
name
they-
is Ray Pearson. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. Grab your drinks, grab your popcorn, get your notebooks. This is Quarantine and Rap.
Yeah, live from your mobile phone, TV, or PC. I'm on whatever screen you own. Jumping from tabs to apps, I suggest you don't. I promise you'll miss out on information that is vital. What I do is feature guests, some even call them the best. So I'm going viral with items that's so classic. Like it says CDs and vinyls. You already know it's time for my show.
Right.